Good morning, a live look outside of downtown Rockford on our Saturday morning, April the 1st. Cloud cover, nothing like we experienced yesterday. A devastating day of storms. Things are quiet in downtown Rockford. That's our camera on top of the Supply Corps building, brought to us by Window World. But what a day, what a tragic day for many here in the state line. Of course, we're going to be talking a lot more about what happened at the Apollo Theater and that roof collapse, whether or not that was a tornado, possible tornado, simply strong storms. But nonetheless, thank you for joining us. I'm Tom Lewis alongside meteorologist Savannah Brito. We had your hands full yesterday, Savannah.
Yeah, all four of us were here. Candace and Jordan were in studio. Joey and I were out. Also, David came with us as well. So it was just a busy day all across the area. Several tornado warnings. We did see some damage across the area as well. Yeah,
you guys did a great job and keeping people informed. Candace did a great job, and Joey and Jordan and yourself. Really a big service to people who were wondering when these storms were going to hit, and they came in two waves.
Yeah, the first wave wasn't as significant as the second one, which is what we were expecting. That second round, kind of the more severe round that had tornado warnings kind of all along that line of storms that did move in. So we did have several storm reports, which we'll also talk about here in a little bit. But first and foremost, definitely a less active day ahead of us today compared to yesterday.
We need that.
We do, and there is really only one band of snow moving in, at least right now. Kind of heavier just south of the Madison area, but we're not really talking about a whole lot of accumulating snow, but some lighter snow showers at best. That's moving through just west of I-39 in Rockford right now. So Stevenson County moving through Lee and Ogle counties, exiting Carroll Whiteside and Joe Davies County at this point in time. It's also going to be a windy day out there. We're at 15 miles per hour in Rockford, 12 in Freeport, 16 in Rochelle. These are wind speeds, so gusts actually are stronger than this. We have a wind advisory in place until 1 p.m. for all of northern Illinois this afternoon. Temperatures, though, somewhat near freezing level, a little bit warmer than that in Rockford at 36, 35 in Galena, 35 also in Freeport. Coolest temperature in southern Wisconsin. Monroe's checking into 33 degrees this morning. On the interactive radar, though, a less busy start compared to what we had last night when Candace and Jordan were in tracking the severe weather. Again, Joey and I were out in the field. We did see damage, and Tom, we pretty much are going to be talking about that all morning long.
Yeah, it's on everybody's minds, of course, the severe storms. 8:03 is the time. Our lead story, of course, is what happened at the Apollo Theater. This morning, we're waiting to hear if anyone else was inside that historic theater overnight. One person confirmed dead. More than 20 were hurt. This after the roof collapsed during a concert. Here's a timeline of what happened. We're told about 260 people were inside, including staff. They were at the Apollo for a heavy metal concert. There was a tornado warning that was issued around 7:25. By 7:50, people were calling 911, saying the roof of the theater in downtown Belvedere had collapsed. The fire chief tells us it only took them minutes to get to the scene.
Initially, the initial response crews came into the building, assisted people from under debris. Assisted people from under the debris, got everybody out, and got them separated by the level of injury that they had.
At last word, 28 people were taken to the hospital, 5 of them with severe injuries. Now that it's daylight, we can get a better look at the damage outside the building. This is a live look on State Street in Belvedere. That was the Apollo Theater. The marquee is down, a once proud building standing for 102 years, built in 1921. The scene of that horrific roof collapse last night. The barricades are out. The first responders, of course, the investigators are going to be there taking a look at exactly the cause, obviously weather related, but they need to know, was this a tornado? Was this strictly a heavy storm? The awning of the building collapsed. Look at the debris that is just scattered along State Street. Of course, that street is known for its historic buildings, and the Apollo Theater, having stood for over a century. Our photographer, Jacob Bradley, is pushing in now to the roof line. Of course, that's where the collapse occurred. Sturdy brick building there, but the damage is pretty evident there, and shows how much these strong winds can really pull apart a building. Isn't that right, Savannah?
Yeah, and the National Weather Service will be surveying damage out there. Also, we did have several tornado reports. I don't know if this one was just straight line wind damage or what, but we will have reports on that later, and we'll obviously keep you updated with any of the latest information we get. But yeah, just after the storms roll through, it's just crazy and almost jarring to see the damage they can do after the fact, you know, because these storms hit through the overnight hours, or really once the sun did set, so we couldn't see really as great of the damage that did occur. But now with these videos and the sunlight coming out, you can really see all the damage and destruction.
Yeah, it's a powerful, powerful storm that ripped through Boone County and up in Caledonia and Poplar Grove. And you're going to show some pictures later on of some pretty scary funnel clouds and tornadoes that came down. We'll see those in just a bit. We did catch up with one woman who had just gone inside for the concert when the ceiling started to fall.
I'm fine. I was able to get out on my own. I kind of seen it just to see, you know, just at first I was trying to figure out what was even happening. I know it's goofy to say you know what's happening, but like it's kind of, you're in a daze.
That is Gabrielle Llewellyn. She tells us she saw so much good inside the building, others running to help each other out.
There was a bunch of guys that, you know, got a bunch of people that went over and they lifted the piece of the ceiling off of, you know, whoever was under there. And I had to make sure that I get that on tape too, because those people should be, I don't know, commemorated.
Yeah.
You know, those people deserve recognition for what they did.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds like some heroic stories are going to emerge from this collapse of the roof at the Apollo. We're waiting to get an update from Belvedere this morning. Any updates on the conditions of those that were hospitalized or any news about the Apollo building structure. As soon as we get that, we'll pass it along to you. We had dozens of reports of damage from Stevenson to Ogle to Winnebago counties. This was on Spring Creek Road in Rockford. As you can see, there are many branches down on the road. Looks like a tree limb actually hit the traffic light at Driftwood and out Spring Creek, that is. Fire department blocked that road, as you might imagine, and power was knocked out. In fact, there are thousands of power outages still across the area. According to ComEd, at 10 o'clock last night, 2,200 customers didn't have electricity in Boone, 2,000 in Ogle, less than 1,000 in Stevenson, nearly 13,000 in Winnebago. As of this morning, we're getting updates. About 1,500 people are without power in Boone County, 250 roughly in Ogle, 200 people in Stevenson, and around 7,000 in Winnebago County still without power. We'll, of course, stay on this story throughout the rest of this hour, bring you updates.